a song? Oh, well, thank you there, Quincy.
Right.
1, 2,
Aha.
3. Raindrops is falling on my head. Yeah, raindrops is falling on my head. Yeah.
And welcome back, guys. Thank you very much for, joining us again. And, Quincy just laid it out on that music. But you see, he was just jamming, man. So, we want to, take our hats off to Quincy. And you are watching Quincy's Fresh Beat. And this episode is dedicated to learning more about clean water. Quincy's and friends learn more about clean water. And we have a special guest today. And this gentleman is from the Mississippi Watershed Management Organization. And I would like you guys to help me welcome Max Dalton.
Thanks for having me, Donald.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thanks for coming out.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
So, I'm really excited about, learning all I can learn about water, because when I was a kid, if they told me, number one, that I was going to be paying $1 for a bottle of water, it was like, you crazy. Why would anybody do that? But now people are doing it, and we have some really things to talk about, water. So tell us, what do you do?
So the Mississippi Watershed Management Organization, or we like to refer to ourselves as the MWMO, we're all about stormwater, which is the water that comes out of the sky and hits our hard surfaces and then goes into the storm sewer system and ultimately ends up in the river. Now, the big thing with that is stormwater doesn't get treated before it ends up in the river, so that's where we come in. We like to do projects and work with our member communities to ultimately clean up the water and help educate citizens on what they can do.
Nice, nice. And I seen your building down there over Northeast, and it's really cool. Mm-hmm. It takes the rainwater from your adjoining building neighbor and then have it filtering, going through some systems and through some things, and it ends up into the ground. Tell us about that.
Well, there's a lot that goes on at our building, that's for sure. So some of the things that go on there are infiltration, filtration, slowing down water so it doesn't pick up, all the dirt and disgusting stuff that we commonly see running into the storm sewers. So it's a combination of all that stuff that cleans up the water before it gets to the river at our site. Wow,
wow. I mean, right now, water is a pretty hot topic, if you will. I seen where there's like 2,000 cities or rivers that are just uninhabitable. Well, when we look at Michigan, Flint, Michigan, they are having some real bad troubles with their water there. Tell us about our water and what we can do in our communities to help make a difference.
Well, there's a lot you can do in your communities. For instance, just being aware of your everyday practices. So for instance, when you mow your lawn, you want to make sure that you get those grass clippings out of the storm sewers and just keep them on your lawn surface itself. Another thing is picking up your dog waste. A lot of times we think it's going to be okay to leave them on our streets and our lawns, but that will ultimately end up in the river, and it's just not good for the water.
Wow. And then there's this system, geothermal system that also can help save on energy, to help cool down the water, help heat up the water. And you're doing some research, or you've done some research on that too as well.
Yep, so our geothermal system actually works to heat and cool our building. So geothermal works through kind of an exchange of heating and cooling processes. When you get a couple feet below the surface of the ground, throughout the year it stays at a pretty constant, like 50 degrees. And the way our system operates is it sends a water glycol mixture out into the ground, and as it's circulating in the ground, it's taking that either hotter or cooler temperature, depending on what season we're in, and bringing that back into the building where we then use it to ultimately heat and cool the facility.
Wow. You know what? Let's take a second here, and I got a video that I'd like to show about a system, geothermal, and how they insert it and, some of those benefits. So we'll be right back.
What if there was a way to heat your home in winter, cool it in summer, and provide abundant hot water all year round, all while cutting your utility bills by up to 80%? How? By installing a Climate Master geothermal central heating and air conditioning system in your home. Here's how it works. Wherever you live, the temperature beneath your home remains constant, regardless of the season. Just a few feet down, the earth is a consistent 55 degrees, summer or winter. Climate Master geothermal heat pump systems harness this stable underground temperature to provide heating, cooling, and hot water at remarkably high efficiencies. So high, in fact, that energy use can be cut by up to 80%. To access this stable underground temperature, a geothermal heat pump is connected to a series of underground loop pipes. These loop pipes are made from an extremely strong and long-lasting material. Water, usually mixed with an environmentally safe antifreeze solution, is pumped through this loop pipe system. In summer, the heat pump takes heat from the air in your home, transfers it to the underground loop system, which then radiates the heat away into the cool earth. Now cooled to a comfortable temperature, the air is circulated through your home using a traditional duct system. In winter, the system is reversed. Heat is extracted from the ground using the same loop system. In the heat pump, the heat from the underground loop is compressed to a much higher temperature and used to warm the air in your home. Since a geothermal system uses an earth loop to provide your home with heat in the winter, there is no need to burn any fossil fuel for heating. No flame, no carbon monoxide, and environmentally friendly. Geothermal systems are the smart way to heat and cool your home. Let's compare a high-efficiency gas furnace to a geothermal system for heating your home. A high-efficiency gas furnace will give you less than 0.96 units of heat for each unit of gas burned. In contrast, a geothermal system gives you up to 5 units of heat for each unit of electricity used. How can that be? A furnace makes heat by burning fossil fuel. A geothermal system doesn't make its own heat. It simply collects heat from the earth and moves it to your home. Now let's compare a geothermal heating and cooling system to an air source heat pump for cooling. When it's hot outside, an air source heat pump takes heat from your home and moves it to the outside air. As the outside air becomes warmer in summer, it becomes harder and harder for the system to dump heat from your home into the already hot outside air. Because of this, when cooling a home with an air source heat pump, the system becomes least efficient when it needs to be most efficient. A geothermal heat pump system doesn't have this problem. A geothermal system exchanges the heat in your home with the cooler ground using its underground loop system. It simply doesn't have to deal with high outside air temperatures the way an air source heat pump does. Add to this the fact that a geothermal system is installed safely inside your home with the loop buried underground. Unlike an air source heat pump, there is no outdoor equipment exposed to the elements or the risk of vandalism. Let's take a look at geothermal loop systems. There are several different ways to install a geothermal loop system. Where space allows, horizontal loops are the most cost-effective loop design for most homeowners. If space is limited, a vertical loop system is often the best choice. If a nearby pond or lake is available, a coiled loop system can be used. This is the fastest, easiest loop system to install. If a well is available that produces sufficient volumes of water, an open loop system can be installed. An open loop system takes water from the well, pumps it through the heat pump system, and then returns it to the environment in a responsible, renewable manner. And geothermal systems don't just heat and cool your home. They can also provide you with hot water, besides a nice shower and washing your hands.
Wow, I mean, that to me is amazing.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why you guys do what you do, I imagine, to help us citizens learn more about how we can conserve on our dollars and our energy.
Yeah.
Okay, now there's something else that you are working on or involved with solar energy. Is that kind of the same thing as the geothermal, or is that different?
It works with our geothermal system. So our building was designed around a lot of different sustainable practices, and the geothermal and the solar and all those other systems work together. For us, solar was a way for us to start off-putting the electrical usage in the building, but a bigger portion of it was around the idea of participatory green, which is just what it sounds like. It's citizens and the users of our building actively participating in its green practices. So we've learned a lot about even what we do as a staff behavior-wise that we can start doing to offset our energy usage and just be aware of what we're actually doing in our building.
Wow, nice. So how long has the I know I can get this, MWMO
Right.
been around?
You got it. As it stands now with the staff structure that we have, we've been around right in the 10-year range, but watersheds and watershed districts, watershed organizations, they've been around for numerous years, 20, 30 years.
Mm-hmm. So there's evidently a need for it because people are really finding that our water is in danger.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So, with that, do you see what we as citizens can do, especially our special need and developmentally challenged community? We really want to have them to be a participant of, helping our water get clean.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, everyday citizens can do tons of different things to help make our waters cleaner, but it ultimately comes down to being aware of what's going on. And just helping people understand that, helping your parents, helping your neighbors understand what's going on in our world. Because when it comes to issues surrounding water, we do have to think about that both nationally and globally. For instance, here in Minnesota, we don't think about water shortages because we have kind of an abundance of it, but you hear about the drought in California. Other areas of the world are struggling with the idea of just having water, period. So when it comes to changing our behaviors and changing our practices, that's what we as an organization like to think of it as, is this is something globally that we can all address.
And so when you talk about how water, affects us globally, what we do here in Minnesota also affects, because the Mississippi River, goes, globally. And that's what we need to do. We need to, stop wasting the water in our faucets. When we got those drips that we think that is not a big deal, or our toilets are running that we think that is not a big deal, we need to take some efforts in making sure that that's not wasting our water supply. Mm-hmm. So when the Mississippi River, do you think that we are in trouble? Is there problems out there regarding that?
So the way we look at it as an organization is the water quality meeting its regulated standards. And for us and many other organizations, we take that very seriously and we watch it very closely. Since the 1970s, the water in the Mississippi River has gotten cleaner, but we still have a long ways to go. And there's lots of different things that we can start to do to make those changes and make the water cleaner.
Nice. You think it's going to happen?
With all of us working together, I think it definitely can.
Well, you hear that. All of us working together. So we need to come together, make this different in our water supplies, because guys, this is not a joke. This is not funny. Water is precious. And when it's gone, it is gone. When it's polluted, it's polluted. I mean, we have countries out there that are drinking water that is uninhabitable. They're drinking water that has feces in it and animals and just all kinds of stuff, but they have no choice. We have a choice. We have a choice here in America, and we really need to take advantage of our resources and make a difference to keep our water as clean and drinkable as we can. And right now, some cities some of the water is not that great. I think Minneapolis water is pretty decent, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other cities out there that you've heard that are like not the greatest water to drink?
I mean, we've all heard the news about Flint, Michigan, but
yes.
When it comes to drinking water, we're pretty blessed here in the Midwest, and it all links back to stormwater and the water that's running into our Mississippi River.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, when we the stormwater, you know, I've never really realized how important that system works. You know, you think that it's something to keep the water from falling in your eyes, you know, when you're trying to put the key in your door, but it actually, you know, takes the water and drains it so that it goes away from your house, number one, but it goes into the ground. Now, when the water actually goes into the ground, it does something, doesn't it?
Yeah, so water actually going into the ground is a good thing because the ground is acting as a way to treat that storm water and remove the bad things that might have accumulated in it. When water hits hard surfaces like, you know, your driveway or a parking lot or the street, that's when it starts to pick up some of the nasty stuff that is not good for our river.
Guys, we'll be right back, okay? Don't go anywhere.
I can move mountains. I build cities and destroy them. I've brought people together since time began, and I have the power to tear them apart. It takes a great wall to hold me back, but I can be held by a human hand. I run faster than Usain Bolt and run around the globe, and yet for millions, I run out far too soon. Every year, people spend 40 billion hours in search of me, yet I kill more people than all forms of violence, including war. I am the one thing no one can live without, be they rich or poor or young or old or living anywhere under the sun. I cover 70% of our planet. Yet for 748 million people, I'm still hard to find. I am essential to life, yet far too often, I end it. I am water.
Do you know anything about clean water?
Aye.
Are you going to learn something today?
Aye.
You are?
Aye.
Okay, then you go over there and get on the piano and we'll be right back, okay? You going to say goodbye?
Bye. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll see you. Is there anything that you would like our viewing audience to know, you know, from your organization, or what we can do, or what to look ahead?
We, as an organization, love to interact with the public in our communities, so we definitely encourage people to come check us out at the Stormwater Park and Learning Center because you can never stop learning, and there's all sorts of stuff to learn about stormwater. And if you're ever looking for resources within our staff or within our organization, check out our website, MWMO.org.
Fantastic. Guys, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Got a few more questions, and, you know, by all means, with this website that you can see on our screen right now, you know, you can get more information about the organization, what they're doing, and how you can get involved and make some contacts with them. Okay, we'll be right back.
It's life's most basic need. But there's a water crisis in our world right now. Seriously, a crisis. Nearly 1 billion people live without clean drinking water. It's happening all over the world. It's a water crisis because it starts with water. But water affects everything. Education, health, poverty, and especially women and children.
The water crisis is vast, but we can solve it.
Join us.
And thank you again, guys, for staying with us. This is Quincy's and Friends learning about clean water. We want to make our environment more cleaner, safer, and our water more drinkable and enjoyable. And we have here today Max Dalton, and he's from the MWMO. And
got it that time.
yeah, I looked at your shirt.
There we go.
And so we visit your building, and you guys got something green roof or something. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so earlier I'd kind of talked about the infiltration, filtration, all the different stuff going on our site. But one of those features is what we call is a green roof. And that's essentially a roof that has a mediated surface with plants that not only help clean the water, but there are other benefits for our building. For instance, having the green roof, we see less heat being kind of radiated off of the roof surface, which helps us keep the building a little bit cooler. Plus, we've got some really awesome plants out on the roof as well.
You got some great things to learn about within your building structure. Not only that, but on the inside of your building, you got a whole, up on your second floor, a map of the Mississippi River and where it goes and things like that. How did that come about?
You know, when we moved into our new facility, one of the things we designed it around was the community. We wanted people to be able to come to our space and learn. So over time, we've just added different features, and the map that you're referring to is actually of our watershed as it runs through the cities. And if you look closely enough, you might be able to identify your house. We do have some magnifying glass for people to check out like that. But yeah, we as an organization encourage people to stop in, check out what we've got going on. We've got signs, we've got information, all sorts of stuff to help you learn about, you know, the green roofs, or if you don't know what a rain garden is, come learn about what a rain garden is, or a cistern, or anything like that.
Okay, when we think about the Mississippi or water in general, what are the worst problems that we could be facing if you guys don't give us information? If we just go, you know, standard lifestyle living, don't give water consideration, what's the worst things that we could look at?
I think you kind of mentioned it earlier. Once the water is gone, it's gone. And you know, it's not one of those resources that we should take for granted, because at some point when we pollute our rivers too much through stormwater runoff or just take those systems for granted, it's not something that's easily fixed or repaired, and it is a life-sustaining resource, and we need to treat it as one.
You heard it, guys. So now it's time to do something, okay? Turn off the faucets when you don't need them. Let's not waste unnecessary water. Let's think about clean water. You know, let's think about health. You know, I mean, we need water to continue to live, and if it's gone, it's gone. So, guys, we'll be right back, okay? Don't go anywhere. We are at the Mississippi Watershed Management Organization in Northeast Minneapolis, and as you see, we're doing the Kids for a Better World. Quincy learns about clean water and friends, and we are having some friends here, and food and music, and we'll see some of the stations that we have. A lot of people showed up, and we are just having a great time learning about clean water and the value of keeping our water clean. Don't be a drip, stop the drop.
The Mississippi Watershed Management Organization, or we like to refer to ourselves as the MWMO, being aware of what's going on and just helping people understand that, helping your parents, helping your neighbors understand what's going on in our world. Because when it comes to, you know, issues surrounding water, we do have to think about that both nationally and globally.
Guys, this is Donald Jackson. You're watching Quincy's Fresh Beat. Quincy's and Friends learn about clean water, and we're gonna have Quincy to take us away on some music. So we will see you guys next time. Have fun and be blessed.
Thanks for having me, Donald.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thanks for coming out.
Glad to be here.
All right.
Glad to be here.
Swim through the river. Swim through the river. Come on, everybody, join me down the river.
Swimming through the river. Swimming through the river. Swimming through the river. Swimming through the river. The Mississippi water line. Swimming through the river. Big room, big room.